Hear this, for it is not opinion but law. The universe is ordered. The mind is the instrument. The word is the command. Where the word goes, substance follows. You are not a beggar in a world of lack. You are a commander in the kingdom of infinite supply. Say aloud, divine substance is pouring through me now, forming rivers of gold, multiplying as it flows. Say it again until the air around you vibrates with the certainty of that decree. There is no poverty in the divine mind. Poverty is a shadow, a false echo, an image born of fear and disobedience to the law. Abundance is the original pattern. You were created to be a clear channel for the circulation of infinite wealth. Every night as you sleep, your conscious mind surrenders its watch. Your subconscious, like rich soil, receives every seed you have planted during the day. If you go to sleep rehearsing worry, you reap worry. If you go to sleep commanding wealth in harmony with divine law, you rise clothed in increase. Therefore I say, let the last word on your lips be a decree of wealth. Let the last thought in your heart be a vision of plenty. Let the last vibration in your soul be gratitude for supply already received. Divine law responds not to need but to recognition. You must recognize yourself as heir to the boundless treasury of spirit. You must declare, I am one with the source of all riches. The life of God in me cannot be poor. Say this now, I refuse the lie of lack. I break the covenant with fear. I call forth the treasures, assigned to my name before the foundation of the world. You are not to plead, you are to command. Command as one who knows the law. For the law of circulation cannot withhold what is claimed in divine order. I speak prophetically, wealth is not coming. It is already established in the invisible and awaits your recognition. Every decree spoken in faith opens the gate for the invisible to crystallize into form. Tonight, as you enter sleep, enter as a sovereign. Do not lie down as one defeated by bills and debts. Lie down as one who holds title to the storehouses of heaven. Close your eyes and breathe these words. I rest in divine abundance. Wealth flows while I sleep. The angels of increase go forth to align every opportunity with my destiny. I awaken to a new realm of provision. The vibration you sustain in slumber writes tomorrow's events. Let your night be charged with faith, your breath harmonized with the rhythm of supply. Declare now, while I sleep, my mind aligns with infinite substance. Every cell in my being resonates with prosperity. I am magnetic to money, ideas, and divine opportunity. This is not empty ritual, this is alignment with the creative word that framed the worlds. The same word now frames your finances. The same vibration that called galaxies into being calls your wealth to appear. Hear me well. Do not contradict your decree in the morning. Do not rise from your bed and speak lack. Seal your confession in silence or with thanksgiving, but never with fear. You are the vessel of divine circulation. You are the point of release for riches that have waited for your recognition. All that the Father has is yours, not later, but now. Take it by affirmation, hold it by praise, multiply it by circulation. Say aloud, infinite intelligence governs my affairs. Divine substance fills my world. I live in perpetual increase. I am awake to the wealth of heaven. This is the meditation of the night that attracts wealth while you sleep. It is not the chanting of dreams, but the enforcement of eternal law. Take it, use it, live it, and see how swiftly the invisible becomes visible. Hear the decree, for it is not mere suggestion but a law older than the stars. That which you impress upon the mind before sleep is the mold in which tomorrow's experience is cast. You do not drift into the night as a wanderer. You descend into the secret chamber where the roots of life are nourished. The door of the conscious mind closes, but the soil of the subconscious lies open, waiting for seed. Many go to bed sowing worry and awaken to reap the same. But the awakened soul goes to bed as a sower of wealth, of faith, of plenty, and the night itself becomes an ally in the fulfillment of increase. Say aloud before you rest, infinite substance is active in me now. Even as I sleep, the law of supply fulfills itself through me. Do not whisper it timidly as though hoping it might be true. Speak it as one who announces what already is. The sleeping hours are not hours of idleness for the spirit. While the body lies still, the creative mind moves, arranging, attracting, aligning, and no effort of the day can rival the silent work accomplished when the soul is surrendered in faith. Therefore, I tell you, guard the threshold of sleep. Refuse to enter the night carrying the debris of the day. Sweep from the mind all argument, resentment, complaint, and fear. These are thieves that rob the soil of good seed. Replace them with the shining decree of abundance. Let the last image in the inner vision be a river of gold flowing toward you, never ceasing. Let the last breath release gratitude as a fragrance rising to the throne. Thus do you make your sleep an altar, and your bed a field of divine harvest. The world of form obeys the vibration you sustain. It does not respond to need, it responds to recognition. As you recognize wealth as already given, the universe bends to mirror that recognition. Say this now and say it again. I recognize my inheritance in the riches of the Spirit. I recognize that I am supplied according to divine law. I recognize that the river of increase never runs dry. When recognition is fixed, doubt loses its voice. And as you descend into sleep holding this recognition, the subconscious accepts it as command and begins at once to clothe it in form. The reason so many struggle in the outer world is because they labor against the impressions they have sown in the inner world. They strive by effort what they have denied by confession. They toil for supply while confessing lack. But the one who understands the law of the night works while resting, prospers while dreaming, advances while lying still. It is not your toil but your decree that governs the flow of wealth. Speak, therefore, as one with authority. Declare, while I sleep, the mighty law of increase is working in my favor. Doors of opportunity swing open to me. Channels of supply appear where none were seen. I awaken to find the harvest of my decree. Even now the Spirit whispers, the wealth you seek is not in the future, it is present in the invisible, waiting only for recognition and alignment. The night is the sacred hour to align. You do not chase after riches, you magnetize them by resting in the assurance of their presence. As the earth draws water from the air in the cool of evening, so your soul draws substance from the unseen when you lie in faithful rest. Know this, fear is the great disturber of night decrees. It tosses the sleeper into restless dreams and writes confusion upon the tablet of the subconscious. Cast it out before you close your eyes. Say aloud with steadfast tone, I will not fear tomorrow. My supply is established. I rest under the law of abundance. With fear dismissed, faith reigns, and the night becomes the workshop of increase. You are not a beggar hoping for charity from the universe. You are a rightful heir commanding the release of what has been yours from the beginning. The infinite does not withhold. The mind of man closes itself. Tonight you open that mind. Tonight you receive. Tonight you sleep as one enthroned in the consciousness of plenty. And as surely as seed in good soil must sprout, so the word you impress upon your night must rise as visible wealth. Say it once more before you surrender to rest. I align with the living current of divine substance. I sleep in wealth. I awaken in wealth. I walk in wealth. Let these words be the final vibration of your waking day, and let the silent work of spirit accomplish overnight what a lifetime of anxious striving could not achieve. Hear this, for it is the decree of divine law, the last vibration you release before sleep, shapes the substance of your tomorrow. Many go to their rest as prisoners of worry, carrying into the night the heavy chains of fear and lack, and so their dawn brings the same poverty they rehearsed in the dark. But the awakened soul knows the sacred gate of slumber, knows that the moment between waking and sleep is the altar on which the seed of wealth is sown. You do not drift into the night as a beggar seeking relief. You enter it as a commander issuing orders to the unseen forces that obey the word. Say aloud with authority before you surrender to rest, infinite substance is alive in me now. While I sleep, wealth is drawn to me by divine law. Let your voice ring with certainty, not hope. Let the air around you vibrate with the recognition that your decree is not wishful thinking, but spiritual legislation. The universe is governed by law. The law answers to recognition and command, not to pleading. When you recognize abundance as already prepared, already present in the invisible, you align your inner world with the rhythm of supply, and the outer world must conform. The subconscious is the silent servant that never sleeps. It is the fertile soil that accepts whatever seed you sow. If you sow complaint, it multiplies complaint. If you sow fear, it multiplies fear. But if you sow the word of increase, it multiplies wealth. Therefore I say, guard the gate of your mind as the sun goes down. Cast out every thought of debt, dismiss every image of struggle. Refuse to carry the noise of the world into the holy chamber of sleep. Enter that chamber clothed in praise and gratitude, as one who already possesses the inheritance of plenty. Say again, slowly and with authority, as I rest, the angels of increase go forth. As I sleep, the channels of provision open. As I dream, opportunities are drawn to me by the law of harmony. You are not persuading the universe. You are reminding your own deeper mind of the truth it already knows. You are summoning into form what has been yours since before the beginning. Every night becomes a silent workshop of spirit when you lie down in faith. Remember this unshakable principle. It is not toil but vibration that attracts wealth. The sweat of fear yields only more fear. The vibration of recognition opens the treasury of heaven. Go to bed not as one defeated by bills but as one who rules over circumstances. Close your eyes and see the river of gold flowing toward you. Feel it as a living current that cannot be dammed. Whisper into the silence, I am heir to the infinite. I sleep in wealth. I awaken in wealth. I walk in wealth. The same spirit that called light from darkness, that shaped worlds from the unseen, now shapes your affairs through the decree you speak and the faith with which you rest. Doubt no longer, for doubt is a thief that uproots the seed before it can sprout. Fear no longer, for fear is a shadow that withers the soil. Faith alone is the hand that opens the storehouse. Gratitude alone is the water that nourishes the planted word. Tonight, release every burden and lie down as a sovereign. Refuse to take your worries to bed. They have no right to follow you into the secret place of increase. Command your soul to rest. Command your mind to believe. Command your night to work in your favor. For as surely as the tide returns to the shore, so surely does wealth return to the one who sends out the right decree before sleep. Say it once more before the eyes grow heavy. The law of supply is active in me now. The substance of heaven flows into my world. My night is blessed. My morning is filled with increase. Let that be the final echo of the waking day. Let the silence that follows be charged with expectancy. Trust that unseen forces move on your behalf as you surrender to slumber. You need not strive in the night. You need only believe, decree, and rest. The soil works without the farmer's labor once the seed is sown. So does the subconscious work in the stillness of the night once the word is spoken. Align with this law, and you will prove that the most powerful meditation to attract wealth while you sleep is not a secret formula, but a simple obedience. To believe the word, to speak it aloud, to rest in it, and to rise in the morning to give thanks for what is already in motion. Hear now the decree of the Spirit, for it is not a suggestion, but an eternal law. The last word you speak before sleep is the command that shapes the unseen and sets in motion the events of the coming day. Most people go to bed rehearsing worry, rehearsing lack, rehearsing the shadows of their defeats. Therefore the night multiplies what they have planted and returns it to them with the morning. But the awakened soul knows that sleep is not idleness. It is the secret gate to the creative workshop of the subconscious. You do not drift into the night as a victim. You enter it as a sovereign, issuing orders to the invisible forces that obey the living word. Say aloud before you rest, infinite substance fills me now. As I sleep, the current of divine supply flows without obstruction. The treasures of the universe draw near to me in perfect order. Speak it not as a timid wish, but as a decree sealed by law. The universe does not answer to pleading, it answers to recognition. Recognition opens the gate, decree commands the flow. That which you know yourself to be is what the night will magnify. The subconscious mind never slumbers, it is the soil waiting for seed. If you sow fear at the edge of sleep, it will bring forth fear. If you sow gratitude, it will bring forth increase. If you sow the word of wealth, it will clothe itself in form. Therefore cleanse the threshold of your mind as the day ends. Refuse to carry into the holy silence the dust of complaints, the chatter of worry, the poison of resentment. Enter the night as one entering a sanctuary. Lay down your burdens as you would remove your sandals upon holy ground. Say with deliberate breath, I rest in the certainty of my inheritance. I am one with the source of all riches. My night is charged with increase. My dreams align with divine order. The angels of supply go forth before me. Let these words sink like golden seed into the waiting soil. Let the last image you hold be a river of light carrying abundance into your life. Let your heart be tuned to the song of gratitude so that your sleep becomes praise and your rest becomes creation. Know this truth: wealth is not attracted by anxious striving, but by vibration in harmony with the law of supply. The world of form responds not to effort, but to alignment. When you go to bed as one defeated by debt, you chain yourself to lack. But when you go to bed as one conscious of being heir to infinite substance, you summon the provision assigned to you from the beginning. Close your eyes and see your needs already met. Speak to the silence and it will obey. Do not be deceived by appearances. The unseen is more real than what you touch, and it waits for your recognition. Doubt uproots the seed. Fear withers it. Gratitude nourishes it. Therefore cast out fear as you would cast out a thief. Say aloud with unwavering tone, I will not fear the coming day. I will not doubt my provision. I rest under the law of plenty. I awaken to increase. As you surrender to slumber with such decree, you give the subconscious a pattern of abundance to reproduce in your affairs. The same word that called the worlds into being now works through your night meditation. The same spirit that clothed the lilies will clothe your need. The night is not empty, it is the womb of tomorrow. Sow the right seed and you will reap the right harvest. You need not struggle while you sleep, you need only believe and declare. The law of life is simple, as within, so without, as impressed upon the subconscious, so expressed in the world. Before your eyes grow heavy, say once more with the certainty of prophecy, I align with the living current of supply. I rest in abundance. I awaken in abundance. I walk in abundance. Let these words be the final vibration of your waking thought. Let them sink beneath the surface like fire in the roots of the earth. Trust that the unseen forces of divine intelligence labor on your behalf through the hours of rest. Thus do you discover the most powerful meditation to attract wealth while you sleep, not a long ritual of striving, but a simple, bold obedience to the law, to believe the truth, to declare it aloud, to plant it in the fertile soil of the night, and to rise in the morning giving thanks for what is already being fulfilled. Hear this truth, for it is as old as the stars and as new as this breath. The final thought you speak, the final word you impress upon your own soul before sleep, is the command that the unseen obeys. Each night the conscious mind folds its wings, but the deeper self, the creative soil of the subconscious, remains awake, receiving every impression as law and bringing it to pass. Many lie down rehearsing loss, repeating the language of lack, and they rise to reap what they have sown in the darkness. But the awakened one knows the hour of sleep is holy ground, the very threshold of creation, where the decree of wealth is planted like seed in fertile soil. Say aloud before you surrender to slumber, infinite substance fills my world. Divine supply is active in me now. As I rest, the current of abundance flows without resistance. Speak it not as a fragile hope, but as a command stamped with the authority of eternal law. The universe does not respond to begging, it responds to recognition. Recognition opens the gate, command sets the current flowing. That which you boldly know yourself to be is the form your night will shape. The sleeping hours are not hours of idleness, they are the quiet workshop where tomorrow's events are fashioned. The subconscious is the faithful servant that takes the pattern given it and produces after its kind. If you hand it a pattern of fear, it multiplies fear. If you hand it a pattern of gratitude, it multiplies good. If you hand it the strong decree of wealth, it shapes substance into channels of supply. Therefore, sweep your mind clean as the day ends. Lay aside the garments of worry and resentment. Refuse to enter the night's sanctuary clothed in the dust of complaint. Approach sleep as one entering a temple, ready to sow the word that will ripen at dawn. Say with deliberate breath, I sleep as an heir of the infinite. I rest in the certainty that every need is met. I dream in harmony with divine order. The angels of increase go forth on my behalf. Let these words sink as golden seed into the waiting soil of your deeper self. Let your last inner vision be of radiant streams of plenty flowing into every area of your life. Let your heart be tuned to gratitude, so that your sleep itself becomes praise, and your rest becomes the silent work of creation. Understand this. Wealth is not drawn by anxious toil but by vibration aligned with the law of supply. The world of form obeys the inward decree, not the outward effort. To lie down as one defeated by bills is to bind yourself to lack. To lie down as one conscious of an inheritance in infinite substance is to summon the unseen riches already prepared for you. Close your eyes and see your table spread, your barns filled, your path open. Speak into the silence, and the silence will obey. Doubt no longer, for doubt is the thief that uproots the seed before it can sprout. Fear no longer, for fear is the shadow that withers the soil. Faith alone opens the treasury. Gratitude waters the planted word. Therefore cast out fear as you would drive out a trespasser. Say aloud with steadfast tone, I will not fear the coming day. I will not doubt the divine provision. I sleep in plenty. I awaken in increase. The same living word that called worlds from the void now works through your night meditation. The same spirit that clothes the lilies clothes your affairs. The night is not empty, it is the womb of tomorrow. Sow the right seed and you will reap the right harvest. You need not struggle through the night, you need only believe and declare. The law of life is simple and sure, as impressed within, so expressed without. Before your eyes grow heavy, say once more with unwavering conviction, I align with the living current of abundance. I rest in wealth, I awaken in wealth, I walk in wealth. Let these words be the final sound in your waking consciousness. Let them sink like radiant fire into the soil beneath the surface. Trust that unseen forces move even now to fulfill your decree as you surrender to the stillness of rest. Thus you prove that the most powerful meditation to attract wealth while you sleep is not a secret charm but a sacred practice. To recognize the truth, to declare it aloud, to plant it in the fertile silence of the night, and to rise at dawn in gratitude, knowing that the seed has been set and the harvest is already on its way. Hear now the word of law, for it has never changed. The image and decree impressed upon the soul before sleep becomes the pattern out of which the hours of slumber weave the events of the coming day. Each night you stand at a gate between the seen and the unseen, between the outer world and the inner kingdom. Many enter that gate carrying fear, rehearsing debts, remembering grievances, and so they give the night a pattern of want and confusion. But the one who knows the law enters the gate as a commander, bearing a decree of wealth, and the night becomes the workshop of abundance. Say aloud as you prepare to rest, infinite substance is here and now. I am the heir of divine supply. Even in sleep, the river of abundance flows to me and through me. Speak it as one who declares what already exists. Speak it as a sovereign, not a supplicant. The universe does not answer to anxious pleading. It responds to recognition and command. That which you know yourself to be is what your night will multiply. The conscious mind grows quiet in slumber, but the deeper self, the subconscious, never sleeps. It is the rich soil that receives every seed without argument and brings it forth after its kind. If you sow fear at the edge of sleep, it will take root and grow into more fear. If you sow resentment, it will sprout the same fruit. But if you sow the strong, unwavering word of wealth, it will shape unseen substance into channels of supply. Therefore sweep the mind clean as the day draws to a close. Cast away the dust of worry and complaint. Refuse to let the failures and fears of the outer world enter with you into the holy silence of night. Say with deliberate voice, I lay down in peace as one who is rich in spirit. I rest in the certainty that all good is provided. I dream in harmony with the divine plan. While I sleep, doors of increase swing open, and the way of supply is prepared before me. Let these words sink deep into the receptive soil of your inner being. Let the last image you hold be of light and abundance flowing toward you in unbroken streams. Let gratitude rise like a fragrance in your heart so that your sleep itself becomes praise, and your rest becomes an act of creation. Know this, wealth is not attracted by the fever of anxious labor, but by the vibration that aligns with the law of supply. Circumstances do not dictate increase, consciousness does. When you lie down defeated by appearances, you chain yourself to lack, but when you lie down as one aware of a divine inheritance, you summon the resources already appointed for you. Close your eyes as one who possesses. See the storehouses already open, the channels already flowing. the ways already made clear. Speak into the stillness, and it will answer. Cast out the thief of doubt, for doubt uproots the seed before it can take root. Drive away the shadow of fear, for fear withers the soil. Faith is the hand that opens the treasury. Gratitude is the water that nourishes the planted word. Therefore, as you surrender to slumber, say once more with firm tone, I will not fear tomorrow. I will not doubt the law of supply. I rest in abundance. I awaken in increase. The same living word that called worlds out of the void now moves through your decree. The same spirit that clothes the lilies clothes your affairs. The night is not empty, it is the womb of tomorrow. Sow the right seed and the right harvest must appear. You do not strive while you sleep. You believe, you declare, you rest. The law is faithful, as impressed within, so expressed without. Before the eyes grow heavy, say once more, slow and strong, I align now with the eternal current of wealth. I rest in the certainty of provision. I awaken to new channels of increase. I walk in the abundance that has always been mine. Let that be the final vibration of the day. Let it settle deep into the silent soil of the night. Trust that even as you sleep, unseen forces are setting all things in order for your prosperity. Thus you prove the most powerful meditation to attract wealth while you sleep. Not a complicated ritual, but a bold obedience to divine law. To recognize the truth, to speak it aloud, to plant it in the fertile silence of the night, and to rise in the morning in praise, knowing the seed is alive and the harvest is assured. Hear and receive this truth, for it is the law that governs all supply. The thought and the word you impress upon your soul before sleep shape the current of your tomorrow. Each night you stand at the threshold of the seen and the unseen. As the conscious mind yields to rest, the creative realm opens its gates. Many lie down rehearsing debts, rehearsing complaints, rehearsing the shadow of lack, and therefore the night multiplies what they have sown. But the one who knows the law lies down as a commander, sowing the decree of increase, and the hours of sleep become the hours of divine construction. Say aloud before you close your eyes, infinite substance flows to me now. As I sleep, the currents of prosperity move in perfect order. I am one with the source of all riches. Speak it with steady tone, not as a timid request, but as a law already fulfilled. The universe does not heed pleading, it responds to recognition and decree. What you recognize as yours in spirit becomes yours in form. The night accepts your word and sets to work. The subconscious is a faithful servant that never slumbers. It accepts the last impression and labors through the silent hours to reproduce it. If you sow fear at the edge of sleep, it multiplies fear. If you sow resentment, it multiplies trouble. But if you sow a strong, unwavering vision of wealth and abundance, it multiplies supply and brings opportunities into alignment. Therefore, clear the field before sleep. Sweep from the mind all anxious images, silence the inner voice of complaint, and cast off the garments of worry as you would cast off the dust of the day. Enter the chamber of rest as one entering a temple. Say with slow, deliberate breath, I lie down in peace as an heir of the infinite. I rest in the assurance that all my needs are met. I dream in harmony with the divine plan. While I sleep, the law of increase unfolds without obstruction. Let these words descend into the fertile soil of your inner self. Let the last picture you hold be of radiant streams of provision flowing into every need. Let your heart rise in gratitude so that your sleep itself becomes praise, and your rest becomes an instrument of creation. Know this law: wealth is not drawn by anxious effort, but by vibration in harmony with the source. Outer labor without inner recognition produces little. Inner recognition opens the gates for substance to flow through many channels. If you lie down as one defeated by appearances, you bind yourself to lack. But if you lie down as one conscious of the eternal inheritance, you summon the riches that have always awaited your call. Close your eyes as one already supplied. Envision doors opening, paths cleared, channels flowing. Speak into the stillness and it will answer. Drive out the thief of doubt, for doubt uproots the planted word. Cast away the shadow of fear, for fear withers the soil. Faith is the hand that opens the storehouse. Gratitude is the water that nourishes the seed. Therefore, as you surrender to rest, say again with unwavering tone, I will not fear tomorrow. I will not doubt the promise of supply. I sleep in the current of abundance. I awaken to new increase. The same word that called light from the void now works through your decree. The same spirit that clothes the lilies clothes your life. The night is not empty, it is the hidden womb of tomorrow. Sow the right seed and the right harvest must appear. You need not strive in the darkness. You believe, you speak, you rest, and the law fulfills itself. As impressed within, so expressed without. Before the eyes grow heavy, declare once more with steady authority, I align with the eternal current of wealth. I rest in abundance. I awaken in abundance. I walk each day in the plenty prepared for me. Let that be the final vibration of the day. Let it sink beneath the surface like living seed. Trust that even as you sleep, unseen forces move in perfect order to fulfill your decree. Thus you prove that the most powerful meditation to attract wealth while you sleep is not a secret charm, but the bold obedience to divine law. To recognize the truth, to speak it aloud, to plant it in the receptive silence of the night, and to rise at dawn in praise, knowing that the harvest has already begun.